What's up? I'm still in Oregon. What is this, part 5? No category today. I ran out of possible categories. This is just miscellaneous books today. But that doesn't mean it's any less good. So, first up, we've got a very nice Ballantine binding of Nico Kazantzakis, say that 5 times fast, of Zorba the Greek. Okay, here it is. Very beautiful cover. I like that. Smells good too. Oh yeah. And this is my first novel I've bought by Kazantzakis. And he is, Greek dude, 1883 he was born, I believe. He also was like a philosopher, politician, poet. He translated a lot of works as well, like Dante's Inferno, Homer's Iliad and Odyssey, Thus Spake Zarathustra. Whoa, I can't say that either. By Nietzsche. He translated a number of like really important, famous works, and he wrote some of his own as well. I actually might read this sometime soon. It sounds really good. It's about a guy who kind of starts off leading like a very quiet, sort of bookish life, and meets this guy called Zorba, who is like very sensual and kind of lives in the world and in the moment, and he kind of gets him out of his shell. So it sounds like going to be a good read. Next up we have, very unfortunately, Edward Gibbons' Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire. Now, normally this would be a great find, but it's an abridgment, and I should have known because it's a 6-volume set, and so a 1-volume book is obviously an abridgment, but I didn't pick up on that. It should be law. They have to put abridgment in like big print right on the front cover, so people aren't confused. Gibbon, of course, looking very statesmanly and kind of funny as well with his double chin on the front cover. Anyways, Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire is very famous. When was it written? Good question. I had it memorized and then I forgot. I think in the 1700s, I believe. Yeah. English version appearing in 1764. And it took him 7 years to write it. Fair enough, it's pretty long. And it covers the years 98 all the way to 1590. So, pretty broad chunk of history there. Yeah. Next up. Oh, sorry. I shouldn't bounce too quickly between books. I'm not really a history guy, so I probably won't read that anytime soon. But yeah, I know a lot of people are probably really into Roman history. Sorry, I'm not that guy. Next up we have Gotfried Von Strasburg. That is very a noble sounding name. And his book Tristan, which is written in, I believe, or he died 1210, so it had to be written before that. And it's originally written in, I think, High Middle German, something like that, during the Middle Ages. And it's a reworking of an older legend called Tristan and Isolde. And it actually sounds quite good. It's supposed to be one of the best love stories ever written. Of course, I think all love or romance books say that on the back cover. But maybe this actually has a legitimate claim to fame, or claim to that title, I should say. What is it about? It's about a knight from Cornwall named Tristan. And he has to escort the Irish princess back to Cornwall in order for his uncle to marry her. However, on the trip, they consume a love potion and begin an illicit love affair on the trip. So that sounds quite racy. Next up, we have an unlikely book from Nathaniel Hawthorne. Hawthorne, of course, being the very early American writer, kind of focusing on religion or religious themes. He wrote Scarlet Letter and the House of the Seven Gables, something like that. Here he has a kid's book called A Wonder Book. He wrote a second one because the first one was so popular, called Tanglewood Tales. And they're basically just retellings of Greek myths for kids. I think in this copy there's Perseus killing Medusa and Midas, Gold Touch, things, classic stories. So yeah, kind of a cool little kid's book there. And look at this one at the bottom, complete and unabridged. That's what I like to see. Next up, always adding to my Oxford Shakespeare collection, this is Timon of Athens. Okay, now apparently among the Shakespeare nerds, this one's not really kind of a well-liked play. It's kind of more obscure and people don't really like it. What is it about? But a rich guy named Timon, and he lavishes all his wealth on his parasitic companions who desert him as soon as he's out of money. So he renounces all of mankind and then hides in a cave. Yeah, not sure when I'll get to that, but I am trying to finish or get all of the Shakespeare in that particular binding. So next up we have Joel Chandler Harris, Uncle Remus, His Songs and Sayings. So Joel Chandler Harris, American guy, I believe, and in the late 1800s he went around collecting like folk tales and stuff from African Americans who either were or currently are still slaves, and then he tells all of those folk tales from the perspective of this fictional character, Uncle Remus. Of course, with Joel Chandler Harris being white, there's this controversy surrounding him telling African American tales, so I'm not going to get into the controversy, don't want to go there. But yeah, interesting piece of history nonetheless. Next up we have Onore Dealsac and his book Old Goriot, or Father Goriot, or Uncle Goriot, depending on the translation. Balzac himself being French. And what is this one about? I think it's 3 intertwining tales. One about an old courtesan, or old kind of rich guy who kind of becomes destitute and relies on his 2 rich daughters. Then there's a young law student kind of coming to learn how to be a rich aristocrat. And then there's also got him. Mosquito. Dead as a doornail. Then there's also a criminal underlord who is kind of looking to extend his criminal empire. So yeah, quite good. I think this is Victorian era. No, 1890. Yeah, okay. 1890, did I say? 1819. That's when it's set. When did he write it? Good question. Early 1800s. I feel like I'm getting killed. I'm getting bitten by more mosquitoes here. Okay, only a few more, then I can go back inside the van and not get bitten by mosquitoes. We have here some Scandinavian folklore or history, depending on how you interpret it. That is Agils Sega. Now there's tons of these saga books of old manuscripts of like Scandinavian like history and stuff. I'm not sure if this one has like a central plot or anything. It's just kind of like a history chronicling like different people and different lineages and the wars and the feuds and things like that in Iceland and Norway. This one's from, I think, it covers the years 850 to 1000, and I think it was the earliest manuscript we have is from like 1230 or 1250, something like that. Next up, we have a novel. This one's certainly from the Victorian era. Balzac, I wasn't sure, but Trollope is certainly Victorian. This was his most famous, The Way We Live Now. It's quite thick, okay? And apparently it's his most famous, his Magnus Opus. And it was serialized, and it has 100 chapters, so it's quite long. I'm not sure how many pages are in this edition. 750. And what is it about? I think Trollope went abroad for a while to Australia or something like that, and he came back and he saw how corrupt Britain was becoming between different financiers and different just business fraud and all these different things. So he wrote this novel as like a rebuke towards the aristocratic society. Yeah, not sure I can say too much more about it. I think Trollope was like pretty prolific as a writer. He has 47 novels, and like if they're all as long as that, that's a lot of writing. So he must have had a sore hand. Lastly, but not leastly, we have a copy that I got for 25 cents of John Steinbeck's The Short Reign of Pippin IV. It is his only political satire that he wrote, and it sounds quite funny. So this random astronomer in 1950s France is selected as the new monarch because apparently he's a long-lost descendant of Charlemagne, and he's put up on the throne as like a fake king so that the communists can revolt against him, like a mock revolt. But he realizes that as king he doesn't really have any power, so he dresses up as a commoner and goes around riding on his moped because it's more fun. And it's just supposed to be like a funny book. It's a novella. It's quite short compared to Trollope. It's almost nothing at all. But yeah. Anyways, that's another stack. I've got a few more stacks to go, and I haven't even left Oregon yet. So Oregon has been very fruitful for the book buying, and I'm sure my van is several pounds heavier now with all the books I have. I'm going to have to buy another Home Depot bin when I get home to store them all. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, soon. Next time. Okay, bye.